Paul, we just went down a really interesting road. And I don't mean the one that we're currently driving. I'll talk about the one we just went down. One position I haven't heard a lot from, not a lot of noise about a need, because I don't know if there's a need for it. But given the situation you have at the receiver position with the Buffalo Bills, tight end.
Yeah, sneaky need, right?
Sneaky.
Hashtag Sports is proud to partner with Mr. Rogers Homes. Sean Rogers is a proud Western New Yorker and is now your Arizona relocation specialist. You can see his reviews as a top 1% agent on Zillow, Homes, and Trulia.com. Go ahead and download his free Arizona relocation guide found in the description of this video. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, and, as Sean would say, God bless America and go Bills.
I don't know what the Bills are thinking in that respect, but when you have a zone scheme, offensive lineman coming in, tight end happens to be very useful in that.
Sure do. You those big athletic tight ends.
Yes.
Yep.
A couple of them happen to be on the market. I don't know how affordable they'll be. Point is, and there's some coming up in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the tight end position is a lot different now than it has been. You know, before they broke the mold when they started signing these basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had Gates and you had Gonzalez and you had those guys.
Right.
Really transformed the position. Now the position has been even more.
Right.
What's the likelihood that Buffalo, instead of addressing the need at receiver with a receiver, they do it with the tight end?
No, I think it's a wild question, Mark, because the tight end impacts both phases of the game, right?
Yes.
It impacts the running game, impacts the receiving game, and there's some really cool names out there.
I'm taking Kyle Pitts off the board as far as the tight end that the Buffalo Bills could acquire.
Yeah,
he's not really an inline guy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. You look at the roster as it stands right now.
Yes.
Dawson Knox, Tommy Sweeney, and then I think they carried 2 to 3 tight ends on their practice squad almost the entire season.
They list Gillian, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not a tight end. He's not a tight end. So in a zone blocking scheme, let's just take the tight ends we have now: Tommy Sweeney and Dawson Knox. Are they effective as blockers in a zone scheme? Just face value as it stands right now.
I would say that Sweeney would be better than Knox.
Okay, why?
In a zone scheme. I just think that's his body type.
Okay.
But if the Bills were to run a zone scheme, they would not use either Knox or Sweeney. They would bring an extra tight end in, but that tips your hand.
Right.
So if you want to do it without tipping your hand, maybe you can get Lee Smith to unretire. I don't know.
Lee Smith would be great in his own blocking.
He would.
But
it tips your hand again.
It tips your hand. And I think that's what's so fascinating, right? For a couple years, we saw these big, lumbering, heavy tight ends here in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at Dawson Knox touchdown production, and you're like, oh, man, Bills are set at tight end. No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not set at tight end. In fact, they are probably in a worse position at tight end than they are in a lot of other positions, because you might not have the right type of tight end, and that matters, right? Mm-hmm. You look at Evan Ingram, right? Super effective. His rookie season fell off the wagon, right? You look at O.J. Howard, never could get it going. David Njoku in Cleveland, never could get it going, right? Why? Well, every single one of them had coaching changes.
Yeah, the thing with Ingram, I think, it scares a lot of people too, because he's a free agent. But here's what scares a lot of people: they had 0 receivers this past year, and he still couldn't get it
open. Yeah, still couldn't get it.
Now either they were just focusing on him because he was the biggest threat, or whatever. But like you said, all of them had coaching changes. All of them had quarterback problems. Mm-hmm. In the case of O.J. Howard, we don't know if it was the change in system he couldn't really pick up, because you put O.J. Howard and Cameron right next to each other. I'm picking Howard 10 times out of 10.
Oh, 100%.
If I need a receiving threat.
100%.
So I just don't know. But all 3 of those guys are kind of like a Knox type but I think could play the tight end position in his own blocking scheme. But plus, if you get any of those guys, you put them in a double tight set. What's the defense going to do? Who are they covering?
Right.
Who are you covering?
Right. So I think you and I are both kind of along the same line as we know that rookies don't earn their stripes in a McDermott team day one.
Not immediately.
No. So if you're saying the Bills should draft another tight end because, again, you have Tommy Sweeney, Dawson Knox, end of list. That's basically what you have right
They won't do it early on.
Right, but even if they did, it wouldn't matter
Yeah.
for the first half of the season,
Yeah.
right? Because they're big on time on task.
I think they have to, though.
Draft a tight end?
Maybe draft, because they drafted both of them in the same draft. And then you know how they like overlap in those positions. As far as the contracts go.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done it with veterans.
Yep. Okay. I look at the tight ends that were on the practice squad, and I don't see Nate Becker as as
No.
I just don't see it in Buffalo. I think you mentioned this player without directly mentioning this player. I think a player like Cameron Brate is an ideal fit to come into Buffalo. Super veteran tight end, right? You'll be able to count on him right away. He's going to play his role, right? He's an effective receiver. I think he'd be a very effective run blocker for you because he survived Arians, so he can survive anything, right? He was there before Arians, but
he's not going to want to play with a rookie quarterback.
He's not right, exactly. He's not going to want to play with another quarterback or restart. I think a player like Cameron Brate fits the mold of what Buffalo needs. Now, will Buffalo identify that that's the need? Bring in a veteran tight end? I don't know. Like a veteran tight end.
I just don't think that if you wanted to try to have a successful running game in Buffalo with a zone blocking scheme that Cromer's projected to install, you can't do it with the front five that you have. You need to have a tight end that's in there.
I very much agree.
But you can't have it be a tight end that, like we said, tips your hand of what you're doing. So either Dawson Knox is going to beef up this winter.
And Dawson Knox Dawson Knox has answered the challenges put in front of him, right?
Yeah, we're not saying that he can't do it, but as of right now,
it's not an ideal
more of a
fit.
receiving.
Yeah, it's not an ideal fit.
Yeah,
I agree. It's not an ideal fit. So, with that being said, do you think Buffalo looks at draft or free agency, or is this a both scenario?
God, give me David Njoku.
Njoku's a freak.
6 days a week and twice outside.
But doesn't Njoku fit the profile of what they would do? If Njoku was in the draft, would they draft him?
Yes.
If he's a free agent, do they sign him?
I don't know how much it would take. He's on a second deal. It's going to be the start of a second deal.
But he had no production.
No, I know.
No production.
I don't know. So, do you think that lessens the money or the years?
It's interesting to me, right? Because if Njoku's in the draft, I think they take him. Njoku's in free agency, I don't think they sign him. And that's what's so weird, is it's the same player. It's the same player, but he washed out so hard. So hard.
Dude, it's the cash. It's the cash.
Why are you saying that a team like a garbage team like the Jaguars is going to say, he was just never given a chance. Let's throw a bunch of money at him and watch. We'll look
they have
like
the opportunity to. I know who's not throwing money at him is the Saints.
No, they ain't got money to throw around, man. They don't want two pennies to rub together.
No, but what I'm saying is, if we believe that the Bills, that the Buffalo Bills are a destination that guys would go to for less money to ring chase, any one of those three. I think Howard's had his option picked up, right?
Yeah.
So let's just talk to him anyway. He's going to be playing with either a rookie or a veteran that comes over. Evan Ingram hasn't played. I mean, who knows? Because
look at the quarterbacks.
Exactly. Man. And then, I mean, Njoku's playing with Baker.
And then whatever they had in
whoever
front
else, yeah. So you ask any one of those three, do you want to play with Josh Allen in Buffalo? To try to resurrect your career. We'll give you a 2-year deal because you guys have not been productive. 2 years, 15 for those guys. Any of those guys, well, not Howard, I'm sorry. So Njoku or Ingram. I don't know. I was about to say, I was like, You spend 2 years with Josh Allen, you'll resurrect your career to either stay there or you'll go
But
somewhere.
these guys are at an age where 2-year deals are kind of like a death sentence, aren't they?
I think both of them will be at like 28, 29.
But that's what I'm saying. If they're 27, a 2-year deal's a death sentence because you're going to get out of that deal at 29.
Well, tight ends play like later than any.
They do have a tendency to last.
Yeah,
they do have a tendency.
I'm just saying. I'm just going on. Yeah, but it's true. It's like you have to make that decision as a player. Are you going to risk? Okay, 2 years. I'm not saying it's chump change either. 2 years, $15 million.
That really isn't all that bad a number, to be honest with you. It's not that bad a number. 7?
You backload it.
Yeah, 7-ish, right?
Yeah.
You make it a 3-year deal. You avoid
the third year.
You avoid the third year. You can so you can play with the numbers a little bit. I don't know. Let's ask the comments. What?
True.
Yeah, just do this and do this and that's fine. Yeah, it's like a recipe.
This is how the
Just
process is, guys.
Sprinkle on a little bit of this, a little dash of that. Look at that. Pie. So let's ask the Patreon members. Let's ask everybody in the comment section. What do you guys do? Do you think Buffalo has to address the tight end position? Do they have to do it, or are they good?
It's a luxury or a necessity at this point?
Yeah, I'm down with that.